Chad.
And those of you in the front, if you want to crowd surf or whatever, go for it. I mean,
Let's get wild. Hey, Adam, will you bring me my drink real quick? My drink? Hey, Chad, it's Cody.
what's up, Cody?
You remember me?
Yeah, man, I remember you.
Hey, what do you say we do a little storytelling?
Okay, sounds good, man.
Hey, Dan, D-A-double-N, our best friends, until the end, just your two bros saying we love you, wishing you the best with your new boo. Hey, Dan, D-A-double-N, our best friend, until the end, just your two bros saying they love you, wishing you the best with your new boo.
Hey, Dan. This is Chad here.
It's Chad.
Remember me?
Yeah, I do.
I used to pick you up every day for school.
And what vehicle?
In my sweet Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, that's rad.
With the tiger print seat covers.
Neat.
Yeah, we were cool.
So cool.
Do you remember that first day of high school? When we were in the lunchroom and you were so nervous about it?
About what?
Well, you gotta be cool in high school.
True.
And so, he got this bag of Skittles.
Oh, I love Skittles.
Yeah, and he decided that he wanted to eat those Skittles that he bought.
Oh, yeah.
And so he opened them up, but he must have used too much muscle. And those Skittles just went everywhere, all over the floor. And it was the most embarrassing thing in the world.
So embarrassing.
And he just hung his head.
That's funny.
But hey, Dan.
D-A-double-N, our best friend, until the end, your two bros saying we love you, wishing you the best with your new boo. Hey Dan, it's Cody. Remember me? I used to cut your hair in college and stuff, like doing mullets and rat tails and sometimes some lightning on the sides. That was me. Anyways, speaking of, remember that one time we were sitting at lunch one time? And you're like, hey, I should pierce my ears. And I'm like, I saw this one time on YouTube where a guy pierced his ears with a potato. But we didn't have a potato, all they had was apples. So I grabbed an apple and we took it back to the room and I sliced it up to prepare for the ear piercing. And all I could find was one of these flat stud earrings. So we said, okay. So we got that apple sliced behind your ear. I think we used some ice too, to numb it up a little bit. And then at this point I was laughing and he was laughing and everybody in the room was laughing.
I was grossed out.
Yeah. And then I did it. I pushed. But I pushed and nothing happened. And then I started laughing again. His ear got a little red, so I pushed harder and I laughed harder. And I think he cried harder a little bit. And then it went through, but not all the way through. Just halfway, or so I thought. So I was laughing and he was crying, and I was laughing more and pushing harder, and then it went through again, but it still didn't make it all the way through.
No, it didn't.
So this is like the second time it's went through something. So I pushed harder and I laughed harder, and he cried harder, and everybody in the room was laughing harder and crying. And I pushed again, and we finally got it through. Hallelujah. So we got one ear pierced in the duration of about 30 minutes, and we said, well, we got another ear to pierce. And we said, okay. So we did. D-A-double-N, our best friends, until the end, just your two bros saying we love you, wishing you the best with your new boo.
Hey, Dan. It's Chad again. Remember the time that we were outside on the trampoline at my house and we were wrestling? I was kicking your butt.
Were you jumping?
No, we were just wrestling.
Okay.
I was kicking his butt though.
I believe it.
And Dan's really competitive and he got mad.
Yeah, he is.
So he got up and decided to literally kick me off the trampoline.
Kicked him right off.
Yeah, that hurt my butt.
Hey Dan, it's me, Cody. Remember that one time we went to China? And then you like to be free in the nude, and I was kind of questionable at the time, but we were in China. So we found this new beach and we walked on over. It was awkward at first because we had clothes on and everyone else didn't. So we laid a blanket down and amidst all of these people playing frisbee in the nude, men mostly, I mean all men, there were some sightseers up top that were both, so I don't know. Anyway, we got down into the nitty-gritty, into the sand with our blanket and took off our clothes. And then we went and swam in the, what is it, South Pacific? Yeah, that was great. It was cold. And so we went back out after swimming a little bit naked with all the rest and played some frisbee after that in the nude.
Hey Dan, it's me again. Remember that time that we went on a road trip?
Oh, I remember that.
Cody wasn't there, he doesn't remember that.
I remember you telling me stories.
And we got pulled over by the police officer that we weren't sure was a police officer because he was wearing a polo shirt.
Undercover.
It didn't have a real badge, it was just sewn on to his shirt. And there was a guy in the passenger side, his ride-along, that was smoking a cigarette while they were writing us a ticket, but they weren't really writing us a ticket because we didn't get a ticket. But he asked if we had marijuana. And you were trying to explain to him that you were a good kid and you don't ever smoke because your mom told you that it's bad to smoke marijuana. And he just didn't believe you. I think it was because your long hair and you looked like a hippie and you looked like you were probably stoned a little bit because you've been driving for a while.
Long time.
And so he didn't believe you at all and he just kept asking, are you sure you don't have a little pinch in the pipe? I mean, it's okay if you have a little pinch in the pipe, just tell me.
Pinch in the pipe, just a small one.
And it'll be okay, but you just need to be honest with me and just say, I have a little pinch in the pipe. And you're like, officer, I don't have a pinch in the pipe.
That's true, he didn't.
This went on for a while. And that was it.
Doubling my best friend until the end. Just your two bros saying we love you, wishing you the best with your new boo. Hey, speaking of homeless, it's me again, Cody. I'm not homeless. But remember when you came back from Africa and you looked homeless? You had that long hair and long beard and somehow all the girls still thought you were the hottest thing on earth. So I sat there and I said, I could do that. So I grew my hair out long. I tried to grow a beard at the time. I couldn't. And it didn't work.
Hey, Caitlin. It's me, Chad. Remember me?
Hey,
That time from the Big Ticket Festival when we were in the same dance pit and on the same movie video and we didn't even know it until years later when you watched it and you were like, hey, that's Chad. That was cool. We just wanted to tell you a little something about Dan.
Do we?
Yeah,
Oh,
we do.
Caitlin.
Of course we do.
Oh, one quick thing, 2 words.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Not
no?
that yet.
Oh, right.
We wanted to say to keep Dan away from the all-you-can-eat ice cream self-serves
Oh, right. Yeah.
because our freshman year of school, he would eat ice cream cones
Breakfast.
for breakfast,
Lunch.
for lunch,
And dinner.
and dinner. And he put on some weight.
He did. Freshman lot.
I mean, we still loved him, but we just had to cut him off from the ice cream.
Naughty. Hey Dan, it's me again. Remember that one time Chad and I were in your wedding? Remember that time also we went to China at the same time as the other story? And then this stranger walked up to us in the park that was learning English and he said, hey, you want to come over for food, drink, and massage? And at the time we thought we'd never see him again. So we said yes. And then the next day we found ourselves in his village and of course we gave him a call. But Dan, he was like, man, I don't know if we should do this. This is questionable. People don't do this in America. But we're in China, right? So we're walking up to this place where he told us to meet indiscreetly. And Dan the whole time's like, man, I don't know, what if we get abducted and robbed? And I'm like, well, we're in China. So we kept going. And we met this man, this individual. He took us through markets and eventually took us to his house, which was nice. We walked upstairs, he's cooking dinner for us, as he said he would. A little American pro rodeo was on TV, odd, in China. And he served us dinner and he sang us traditional Chinese songs that were beautiful, and all ended well. B-A-double-N, our best friends, until the end. Just your two bros and we love you. We're wishing you the best with your new boo. Hey Dan, B-A-double-N, friend until the end. Just your two bros saying we love you. We're wishing you the best with your new boo. Hey Caitlin, it's me, Ann.
Me.
We have one more thing to say to you.
Yeah, it's very important.
One thing. Ready? Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, so, Dan, as you remove your hand, we'll give a toast to this. Everybody wants to raise their glasses. To the last time, you'll have the upper hand. You may remove your hand. Cheers.